welcome to Training Day 2020. So we're going to be doing a few changes coming up here at the Nature Center, including adding 2 volunteers per shift here at the Nature Center when we can get 2 volunteers. So the goal is to have a volunteer at the front desk who will do things such as greet visitors, answer the phone, take program registrations, give kind of an overview of what's going on in the Nature Center. So somebody who's really stationed at the front desk just to make sure that we are connecting with everybody who comes in, as well as getting all of the phone calls. And then the second person we're going to call kind of our docent or floater person. We'll have a table set up in Pollinator Paradise that they can use, but we also are hoping that that person will be the one who is connecting with people who are visiting, maybe answering questions about exhibits or taking people through the different exhibits. If they would like to, they can also set up a time with Ashley to do monarch care for the butterfly enclosure during the regular season, who will be picking up loose parts, you know, the food in the food truck, picking up the balls in the apple tree exhibit in Pollinator Paradise. So that person will be kind of floating, moving, talking to people. So we have 2 different opportunities there. Then at the front desk, one of the things that that person's going to be in charge of is taking nature store purchases. So we've actually moved the cash register to the front desk. We just thought that that was more convenient. Seems like people bring their purchases to the front desk anyway. Then we can have somebody staffing that all of the time. The inventory book is still back there, just as we have done in the past. So you can still write down your inventory, still take cash purchases or checks, but we also have a new credit card machine. So this is called a Square. There is a button right here on the side. So that will have the screen off. To turn the screen on, you just click that little button. As you can see, it is portable, so we do have it plugged in the back. There is a little plug right here, but that is mainly for charging purposes. Otherwise, you can move it around. So to utilize the credit card machine, it's a little bright here, but hopefully that'll still work. So you turn the screen on, and then you just type in whatever your purchase is. So say it is $5. So you type in 500. So it says up here, charge $5. So you hit charge, and then the screen will come up that says tap, insert, or swipe. So you have a credit card. You can either do this for them, or you can hand the machine to them and they can do it themselves. Just like at a store, you can swipe it. If it has the chip, then you insert it. It says do not remove card, preparing payment, authorizing, approved. So please remove card. So we are going to remove the card here. How would you like your receipt? So you can ask the person, how would you like a receipt? If they say no, you can hit no thanks. If they would like a printed copy, you can just hit print. It'll come out right here, super simple. They can also have the choice to email or text it to them. I would just hand it to them at that point. You can hit email and then hand it to them, and then they can enter their email here and hit send, or they can also hit text, hand it to them. They can put in their phone number and then hit send. So if we say no thanks, at the very top right here, it says new sale. So you click on new sale and it will take you back to that original screen. And again, just hit, you can hit the little button on the side and it will turn off. I think it will also turn off if you don't use it for a little while too. So that is a very simple way to use credit cards now, and you don't have to worry about using the computer. All of the instructions are right above it, so it'll be back here on those white pages, and then the cash register instructions are also back there as well. We're at the Typography exhibit, just to remind you how to turn it on. So it'll be down here. There is the button right under the HP signal. You hit on, grab the remote, and then you just click on for the projector to turn on. I'm also going to take you through a few troubleshooting tips here. If you have turned it on and the program doesn't come up and it looks like this, which looks like a desktop and has icon right there, that means that the program is not running. So what you need to do is you need to come behind the poster that's usually here and look at this connection where it says connect. This light should be on. So you can see right now that that light is not on. So we need to jiggle this plug, because that's what kind of comes loose sometimes, until you see how that green light just turned on. Sometimes you have to very gingerly let it go. And make sure that that green light stays on. Then to start the program, you would go underneath here, and you see how the mouse is right here. So you're going to use the mouse just like you would use a computer mouse, and you go, so I'm going to look for the computer mouse here and double click on this program, and voila, it turns on. Also new at the Dickinson County Nature Center this spring is our What's Your Wingspan exhibit. So please encourage people to come back here and check it out. They can see different birds that we have here in Dickinson County, including a trumpeter swan, osprey, we have a great horned owl, a mallard, a robin, and a hummingbird. And then we have all of the sizes of their wings. People can stand and say, how big is my wingspan compared to these different birds? And then they can also go over here and learn about birds. So we have information about different kinds of feathers and how different kinds of feathers have different roles on a bird, like the down keeps them warm, the wing and tail feathers help them be aerodynamic. It also has information about hollow bones and why those are structurally important for flying for birds. And then you can also go and you can measure your hand. So a human hand is an average of 7 inches. A trumpeter swan has a foot that's about 8 inches. A mallard has a foot that's about 3 inches. So depending on the size of your hand, you can also see how that measures up to different birds. So please encourage people to come over and check out the What's Your Wingspan exhibit as well. We have lots to go over in the new Pollinator Paradise edition as well. So first, when you are opening up Pollinator Paradise, when the cleaning crews come in, they take these yellow stools and they put them up on the tables. So we just want you to make sure that if you see everything up on the tables, all of these need to go down on the floor. So there are stools and a variety of different exhibits, so please just make sure that all of those go down on the floor. As I mentioned before as well, an option for the docent or the person who is stationed in Pollinator Paradise is to take care of our monarch butterflies in the butterfly enclosure seasonally. So naturalist Ashley Hansen can provide training on that, of how we replace the milkweed, how we move the caterpillars from the old milkweed to the new milkweed, what do we do with chrysalises, how do we release adult monarch butterflies who have hatched, making sure that we mark down if they're male or female. So talk to Ashley if you would like to get involved in monarch care. We have a lot of questions about our indoor beehive as always. Unfortunately, our indoor beehive did not survive again this year. There's still a few bees in there. This year we don't know what happened. So Iowa bees are dying. Beekeepers are losing 50 to 70% of their hives each season, and they don't always know why. It could be that colony collapse disorder, it could be effects from neonicotinoids, it could be robber bees coming in and taking their honey, it could be that our bees didn't make enough honey. Last year we lost them because of varroa mites, which is an infestation of mites. This year we did not see any infestation of mites, so we're not 100% sure why. We will hopefully get new bees this spring and replace that hive again. But again, as the Nature Center, we're not immune to the issues that other beekeepers have. And because we only have one hive, if the loss rate is 50 to 60%, we have a good chance that we will lose our hive during the winter time. So we unfortunately did lose our hive this year. We have a new shoe rack over with the honeycomb display. And with that shoe rack, we have rules included on it. So we do ask that kids all take off their shoes if they're going to be playing in the honeycomb. And right here we have Pollinator Paradise rules. So children must be supervised in Pollinator Paradise at all times. So if you are seeing families who are letting kids run around in here, you most certainly can ask that parents continue to supervise their children. We don't allow food or drink inside the honeycomb climber. We are actually not allowing food in the Nature Center at all anymore. Only climb in the honeycomb and not on it. So if you see some older kids trying to climb on the outside of the honeycomb climber, you can refer to the rules and say, please climb only on the inside of the honeycomb climber. We also make sure that it says on there to put any loose parts back. So we have loose pieces in our monarch display, we have the costumes, we have all of the balls, we have the loose pieces in the Build a Pollinator area, and loose pieces in the fantastical food truck. So it does say in the rules to please put all loose pieces away. Again, if you're having issues, you can always refer to the rules and say, it does ask that we please put our loose pieces away. We always try to be super nice and super positive about it. You certainly can ask people to kindly obey the rules here. And then again, no shoes in the honeycomb climber is the other part of that. There are some issues that have happened with the apple trees here. So we have the apple trees. People can shoot the pollen balls in the pollen launcher. They can also put pollen balls into these vacuuming holes at the bottom of each apple tree. There are a couple troubleshooting things that you can do. So if anybody comes and says there are no balls in the apple tree, sometimes they do get stuck. So a way to deal with that is to go over to the apple trees and gently shake them. Please don't shake them too much because sometimes the tubes fall down after that. But you can gently shake them. Sometimes that will wiggle things loose. Sometimes if you go up to a hole and instead of feeling the vacuum sucking in, you feel the air pushing out, that means that there is a clog as well. For that, we go into the custodial closet in the hallway and grab the shop vac. You can plug the shop vac in and then use that and put the shop vac in here, and then you can start sucking out any of the plugged. So you'll get a ball that will suck out, and then you can throw that in there and then keep sucking out as many balls as you can until you can feel that the air is now sucking in instead of pushing out, which means the clog has been resolved. Another thing that happens sometimes is that the balls get stuck in the top of the apple tree, and then grab a staff member and we can clean those out by using a ladder. So if it goes beyond those first two troubleshooting methods of jiggling the apple trees gently to see if any balls will fall out, or vacuuming out any plugged balls, grab a staff member and we can go from there. Sometimes it does take a little extra or a couple of people to work through some of these issues. We have a lot of loose parts that can be put away in the food truck. Everything is marked where everything goes. So we have a fajita cart. All of the felt food goes in the fajita cart. So there are white plates that go there. It says plates on there. There are felt tortillas, beef, peppers, tomatoes, guacamole, and salsa. So any felt parts get put away in the food truck. Then we have the ice cream area. We have it labeled what kinds of ice cream go there, the cones and the scoops. The smoothie area, again, all of the fruits are labeled. Also in the smoothie area go these little clear cups. Those go on the shelf underneath. And then we have the faux blenders. Again, those go on the shelf underneath. So if you need to put everything away, that all just goes in here. On the other side here, we have the different meals, and all of these are labeled where they need to go. Salad, chicken soup. We have all of the coffee items that go underneath the coffee. And then on the shelves underneath where things are not labeled is where the red and blue bowls go. And then there is a basket where all of the plastic and metal silverware goes. So pretty self-explanatory, but in case you need to know where everything goes, It's all labeled, follow the labels, and then we also have a few things that go on the shelves underneath. So if we could just make sure that those are cleaned up periodically. People have done a really good job about cleaning up, but sometimes it does take a volunteer or a staff member to step in and or clean up at the end of the day. In the Build a Pollinator exhibit, we have some more loose parts. So we have wings, we have legs, we have these curly proboscis pieces. So if you see anything that looks like black little pieces, sometimes they get put in different exhibits, they all go in here. Now they don't go in a certain order or anything like that. Any of the wings also go in here, but if you find them in a different place in Pollinator Paradise or in the Nature Center, that's what those pieces look like. Another troubleshooting thing, so we have our Save the Pollinators digital game. In the morning when you come in, it should just have the entry to the game. Sometimes that has a screen that has code on it, like computer codes, like a black box. Or sometimes it'll say, you know, there's been an error, okay, cancel. So if there's anything that looks like a pop-up window on your computer, make sure you press somewhere else on the screen so you don't have to deal with anything that's on there. Just click somewhere else on the screen. That will reactivate the program and all of those pop-ups should delete. If they don't, please grab a staff member. But again, if there's anything other than the game that has popped up on the screen, or you can see the start menu or the bar on the bottom of the screen, just click somewhere else on the screen that doesn't have anything. It should re-up and you should only see the game. If that doesn't happen, grab a staff member. A great job for volunteers is always to go into the kids area in the lower level and to make sure that that is picked up as well. So we have some new bins here in the kids area where you can organize all of the different loose parts. So we have building blocks made out of tree stumps. We have puppets and stuffed animals. There are books and plastic pieces. We also have magnetic building blocks that you can use on the light table. We have the different costumes that can be hung up on the pegs over there, as well as the magnets that go on the magnet board. Another thing that we want to do is make sure that things stay nice and sanitized. So up in Pollinator Paradise and down here, if you ever want to, feel free to take Lysol wipes, Lysol spray, and spray down any of the loose parts that we have, including, you know, the stuffed animals and the plastic toys here. The plastic toys can also be thrown in, you know, a sink with some soapy water or some light bleach water. So if any of those times that you're bored or don't have anything to do, cleaning any of our kids' areas or any of our loose parts that see a lot of little hands is always an option. Downstairs, we have a couple of new animals that we have gotten this winter. One is our Great Plains toad. So we have two Great Plains toads. We used to have an American toad. It did pass away, so we have two new Great Plains toads. These actually are not native to Dickinson County in particular. However, they are found in western Iowa. So you can find them in the region, although not necessarily in our county. And then we have also our friend Luna the hedgehog. So unfortunately, the hedgehog Honey, she had gotten cancer and did have to be put down. So Luna was purchased as a baby and has now grown up here. So she was about 7 weeks old when we got her in December and is doing really, really well here. Like Honey the hedgehog, she is nocturnal, so she does stay underneath her blankets a lot of the daytime, but she does really well at programming. If you would like to have an animal handled, or people have requested to get an animal out, please make sure that we always ask a staff member to do that. If you are comfortable doing that or have experience handling the animals, that is fine to take them out. But we always say that getting an animal out is a privilege. It is not a right here at the Nature Center. So if children are not being polite about it, or we are really busy and do not have time to take out an animal at that point, then that is okay. We can just say, you know what, at this point of the day, we have programs going on, or we have too many visitors and it's just not a good time to take our animals out. So we will just ask that you look at them through the enclosure, and that is 100% okay to say. A couple more wrap-up items. So, you know, we have been working on the Mazer Monarch Lodge here in Kenyu Park. We're working on getting reservations up on our website. Looks like we won't be taking reservations until at least the fall. However, we will open up our website so people can plan, you know, 6 months or a year from now, and start actually booking their rentals online. As soon as we can get that in order, we're working on the rules and regulations for that, but that will all be online. So anybody who has any questions about that, you can just tell them to go to our website, DickinsonCountyConservationBoard.com. We will update that as soon as we have everything finalized, and all reservations will be taken online. All payments will be taken online. The reservations will be open a year in advance, but they can find all of that on our website. We won't have to do any of that over the phone. Another note here is people have asked, you know, can I come to the Nature Center now and do parties? Again, we're not taking any rentals. Anything will be over at the lodge. If people want to come and have groups here, you know, we're a public area, so we certainly are allowing that. However, we are no longer allowing food in the Nature Center. We've had a few issues of people bringing food in, so people cannot bring food in. If they want to, they are more than welcome to eat outside on the porch, but we do ask that they do not have any food inside. As for drinks, please just, we're not limiting drinks at this point. We do ask that people, you know, take care of that, but that hasn't been an issue so far. So right now it's just food. Drinks are still allowed in the Nature Center. We also, you know, as we come across some of these changes, we want your input. So we have the new changes with the 2 volunteers at a time here. This is a testing period, so we highly encourage you to let us know if things are not working out. If you feel like you're not being utilized and that we don't need 2 people here at a time, please let us know. If you feel like the way we have it split up with the front desk and someone floating and touring, if you feel like that is not working, please let us know. If you think we only need it maybe certain days of the week, because certain days of the week are not busy enough to have 2 volunteers, please let us know. We are more than willing to change up the volunteers and how schedules work or where you're working, because this is new to us. You know, our visitor numbers have just increased so much that we feel like we need more help, but you know, we're not 100% sure what the best way to do that is. So the way that we're going to test it out is with having 2 volunteers per shift, when we can get 2 volunteers per shift. But we welcome any comments from you, positive and negative. You can always, grab a staff member and tell them. You can submit a written comment. You can email us. Just please, if there's issues, be open about it. So I will be gone, a lot of this summer. The plan right now is for me to take 6 weeks off when my baby is born, and then to work part-time through the rest of the summer, maybe 2 days a week. Those days would change weekly. So I will still be around probably mid-June through the end of August, part-time there too. So if you need anything, when I am out on maternity leave, you can talk to Lee or Bree or Ashley. I will most likely not be available via email or phone unless it's an emergency or something like that. But then I will be back part-time throughout the summer. So I appreciate you guys filling in where I will be gone, and also for the flexibility in doing this training online and via video. If you guys have any questions, as always, just give me a call. You can call the Nature Center, 712-336-6352. You can call my cell phone, 712-339-1153, or you can also email me at kroth@co.dickinson.ia.us. Thank you, as always, for all of the wonderful people that you are, and thank you for all that you do for the Dickinson County Nature Center. You guys are just so appreciated.